Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Wandering Village. I'm Evie Greenbottle, and we are still playing in the experimental version, but that does mean sometimes this happens. They have updated the experimental version, which means our old save file is no longer compatible. You may have seen my post over on YouTube a couple of days ago, but yeah, this save file is no longer going to work, so we're going to have to start a brand new one. But you know what? That just means brand new possibilities. And maybe some better dirt placement on Onbu's back. Right, it's still going to be a relaxed one because of course we are still playing in the experimental version. So let's drop right back in there. Onbu stays Onbu. Keep him in the classic colors because I just prefer them. All right, we have been driven by our homes for the toxic spores again. We're wandering, we're looking for shelter, and we never imagined what we would find. Although we kind of did. We've been here before. But look, there's our Onbu, and we love him. All right, fingers crossed for some really good dirt placements. Let's see. No, those are the worst. What is that tiny bit at the front? Oh, okay, do you know what? It's kind of better than we had that long strip last time, so maybe this is better. But, oh, that's a bit rough. A little bit rough. I think some things have gotten their own look now. So the clay gathering camp does actually have its own look. It has its own little picture here. Where can we put this at where it actually reach? Oh, it technically has 4 in range there. We could go there. I just need to get these in place. This one's also 4. Might go here. This seems like a perfect mushroom spot. We need a wood cutting camp. Let's get that in. You can start doing that. A mining camp. Start getting rid of these stones. This seems like a fine spot down here. There's tons of rocks. Get those in. We're going to need to get some houses. Let's take a look. Has anything else gotten a new look? Oh, the brick furnace. Okay, so the brick furnace also has been updated with its look. And it's looking pretty cool. I'll have to put that in a minute. All right, snoring Onbu. What's everybody going to be working on? You've got this built. Oh, people don't automatically go into the buildings. The buildings, when they get built, automatically start closed. I am surprised by that. Okay, let's start gathering some wood. If you are not busy building, you could start gathering wood as well, even if it's not here, because that, of course, would be faster. All those rocks are going to need to go. We have a good berry spot. There's some berries up there. There's some berry bushes down across here. This seems like the best spot, and that's not even very good. But of course, I suppose we can just grow our own berries. So we could stick this here. That is 6 currently in range that are full grown, and then 3 more that are coming, but we could always be planting more. So I think I'm going to put that here. It's going to be nice and central. And then I guess the other berry bushes we'll just dig up, and then we can replant them. I think that would work, actually. Might as well have it central, because last time people were having to walk all the way to the front of Onbu to get food. This will be central, so hopefully people won't have to walk as... is that central? I guess it's actually towards the back. All right, we need to get some houses in. Now, last time I put the houses down here, that area is not very cleared out. Could put them along here. They're going to be temporary anyway, so I suppose it doesn't really matter. Maybe back in this corner. We'll just get a bunch of houses put in there, little tents. And that will be good enough for now. That'll be way more than we actually need. All right, Onbu has started off in a jungle, which is a fairly good spot to start. Our mining camp has been built. Has it also started off closed? Yeah, it started off with no workers in there. So that is different than it used to be when you built things. It'd always have the max capacity to start. Now it doesn't, which I think is actually probably a good thing, because normally when you build like your seawater gatherer, but you're not in an ocean, and then all of a sudden there's 2 people working in there, and you're like, why are you working in here? We're not in an ocean. There's nothing to gather. So that's a good change. It does mean that you'll have to keep track of when things have actually gotten built, because people aren't automatically to go in there, especially early game when all the things that we're building are useful. But it did also make a dinging sound when it built. So maybe that will just kind of alert us to, you need to do something. All right, let's take time on a lot faster, because of course, at the moment, we're just gathering resources. There's not much else to be happening here. Right, some of our tents are getting wood brought over to them. Requiring 15 wood for these tents is a lot, especially at the start, but everybody's working away. This is obviously slower than being over here, but that's okay. How many tools? We've only got 3 tools, so not enough to build anything else. There is our first tent gone in. So yeah, it is making a noise when things are going in now, which I think... Is that new? That seems new. I don't remember ever hearing that noise before. But I've played a lot of Wandering Village. Oh, see, there it is. I've played a lot of Wandering Village. I don't remember that ever happening before, but we've got 2 tents in. The berry gathering hut is also in. We want to be planting and harvesting to get people in there. Now, yeah, it does start off saying freezing, but then when we click on it again, it does fix and go over, so that's okay. We've got 2 people now gathering berries. There's also a pile of berries over here, but let's just make sure people stay well fed and happy, because we've actually got 2 new nomads will be arriving in about 1 day. And Onbu is officially up and walking. Feels weird to be like starting over again so soon after our last start. There we go. Clay gathering camp. I think we'll just put 1 person in there. That leaves us with only 1 builder. Another tent has gone in, which is good because that's going to keep our people nice and happy. We still have 2 homeless people, but this one's about to go in. We'll just high prioritize that. Our 1 little builder can go over and do that. And then everyone will have a place to live. Oh, you've gathered all the berries around, have you? Let's just take 1 person out of there. What we need is them to go and get these berry bushes so that they can replant them closer by. All right, and there we go. Yeah, new sounds have been added to the game. So 2 nomads have just settled on Onbu, and it did make a bit of a sound there. So we are welcoming 2 more people, which is great. I'm mostly trying to get these berry bushes harvested here. Hopefully they'll bring over the berry seeds and plant them closer. Here it is set up, so plant and harvest, and they're bringing the seeds over right away. So we've got 6 in inventory, so that guy, once he's done harvesting all the berries, he should be able to plant some more bushes. That's going to be a big help. And 2 more tents have gone in, which is also great. Going to need to get a research building. There's another tent going in. Research building takes bricks though, so we're going to need to put in the brick furnace. Might just stick it up here, just in case more of those clay deposits can spawn in the kind of these areas up here. I don't want to be using them. Although this is kind of in a weird spot, but I think this is easy to take down and bring back up again. If we deconstruct the clay gathering camp, we do get a 100% refund. Let's take a look at this art. It's new. Look at it. It's so cute. Okay. Clay gathering. You got like a little crane in the back and some shovels and a little wheelbarrow full of clay and randomly like a garbage bag full of clay. It's cute. Very, very cute. I love the new art. And the brick furnace as well. Look at it. It's made out of bricks, which is impressive considering we didn't have bricks to make this because we needed to build this first. Right, can we get 1 person in here to start making bricks? Of course, it needs wood and clay, which is going to be quite a lot of stuff. All of our tents are now in those, so don't need to be using wood up there anymore. The wood can be coming over to be making those bricks. This mining camp has gotten through these bricks, these stones rather quickly, which is great to see. Feeding trebuchet, we're going to need to build that at some point, but I feel like we're a long ways away from that. I'm going to need to put another mining camp up here. So it's going to be the tiny area where we grow mushrooms. It is very, very little. I will definitely have to have mushrooms back here at some point as well, because it's just not really enough, is it? Because you need to be able to feed Onbu, but we also, oh, actually, I don't know, maybe here and there, but then you've got all of this dirt space. All right, our very first bricks are being made, which is exciting. Oh, you can also get piles of clay, which didn't have in the last version. So just like a little pile of clay, you can just kind of go grab those. They are sort of just littered around. Let's send people off to get those as well then. 2 new nomads would like to settle on Onbu. Now they don't automatically settle. You have to actually click on this icon, which is also new. We've got now 12 people. We've got housing for 20, so we're good there. May just want to increase some of these to make sure we've got kind of good efficiency. I'm going to put another person in as a berry gatherer. Hopefully they start to plant those berry seeds because there's 9 to go in. Also want to get these trees down just so that we can better see and have more space around our berry gathering hut for berry bushes. All right, it's already day 7, ticking along at a good clip here. I feel like we've got a good setup. Onbu has chosen to go north here. We're still staying in the jungle. It looks like we would have either direction, so that's fine. Now Onbu's already getting quite hungry, which is also kind of impressive. We need to get in this very quickly, the research building. We need to start researching because, of course, we're going to need all sorts of things. We need an Onbu observation post kind of quickly. We need the kitchen, the scavenger hut, the village doctor quickly. We need the mycologist and the herbalist very quickly as well. All of these are kind of important. The hornblower, the Onbu doctor, Onbu kitchen. Like there's tons of things to be getting. So we really, really need those research notes to be starting to come in. Right. Research center is now in. We're going to put a worker in there. Construction notes, we're going to be taking wood and stone. Is that what we want to be doing right now? I think it probably is yeah, because we're going to want the agricultural notes as well. And the agricultural notes use clay, but we're not quite at that point yet. Definitely just going to want more of these research buildings. Yeah, they've got lots of berry bushes now planted in here, which is excellent. So and it's raining, which is going to help our clay. And Onbu has taken a little snooze. We've got the rain cloud moving over us. There is food for Onbu up ahead, which is excellent. Going to need that. You are running out of things to do again. I'm going to just take 1 person out of there once again. So we've got an extra worker to come over and do whatever else needs to be done. Oh, do you know what's going to need to be done? We need air wells. So I'm going to be putting farms probably over here. So I'm just going to stick an air well here. And let's just stick our first farm here. I think we'll be able to fit 2 farms in this area fairly easily. Having the air well nice and close is always good. Put a water tank over. Actually, I'll probably put it on this side once this wood cutting hut is done. In fact, we might even move the wood cutting hut already. And then a water tank over on that side. Air well is now constructed. Can we put somebody in there? So yeah, we don't actually have any water coming in yet. We are going to need that. A pantry would be good as well. Perhaps a pantry halfway between our berry gatherers and that farm. Stick it in here. It's kind of an awkward spot, but it kind of fits between all of these Onbu spikes. Right, 2 new nomads would already like to settle in Onbu. That has been very, very quick. That's ticking along. 2 new people. What do we need here? People are not having enough wood. Oh, we need to put the workers back into the wood cutting camp. I think we could also just maybe set some people to just cut down wood manually also. Right, our first farm is ready. We can start planting some beets in there. I'll just probably put 1 worker in there. That way he starts using up some of the water because, of course, this was already getting quite full and they hadn't quite built the water tank yet. Now our farmer's got lots of water to work with. And you guys have run out of space to place your bricks. Okay, we can close it off for now. We might need to do another research building. Not sure where we want to put a second research building though. I'm gonna just put it next to this one. I mean, having it near the clay would be okay, but also somewhere near wood and stone would be okay. We'll just stick it over here. It's kind of in between where we're gathering. Although we're not gonna be gathering stone from here forever. This is actually nearly done. They just have 3 rocks left, but they can bring the bricks over. Having them semi spread out is okay. Water tank is now being constructed, so our air well can be back off gathering as much water as they want. Also get a hauling post at some point. I'm gonna stick it next to this research building. Right, Onbu is back up and walking after his little nap, which means he's heading towards this food, which is good news because his hunger is at 51% and we are nowhere near being able to feed him yet. All right, we're up to 25 construction nodes, which is a good start for our first research. Onbu observation post, that is actually enough to get that. However, the Onbu observation post needs the mycologist, which means we would actually need to be getting the agricultural notes, which I think I might switch these over to. When this construction note's done, I think we're going to switch it over to using clay to make the agricultural notes. This one then can go make the construction notes. There we go. So they're going to work on that. We need 25 of those to get the mycologist, plus then we can get the Onbu observation post. Oh, our mining camp is already done. So let's deconstruct that. We're going to have to move it over. 2 nomads would like to settle. That's more people already. We're up to 16. We've already doubled the number of nomads living on Onbu's back. Now, our population is getting bigger. Our population continues to grow. The needs of our village will start to increase. So it doesn't work on time passed anymore. It's the needs of your village increases as the population actually grows. Okay, this mining camp is in. We need to put the workers in there. Ooh, Onbu's found the fresh food. He's definitely going to eat it because he's definitely hungry. It's at 62%. And then he's got a decision to make. He could go either way. We won't be able to influence it. If he goes south, though, there are some nomads down here, which is always nice to get. All right, Onbu's back walking. He's down to 28% hunger now, which is pretty good. Our hauling post has been constructed, so we could put some workers in there as well as in here. Might just have 1 person focusing on being a carrier in there. This is construction notes, this second research building, so it's going to be using the stone and the wood. And this one over here is doing the clay because it's nice and close to the clay. We're going to need another one as well for the herbs and making medical notes at some point, but for now, I think we're okay. All right, Onbu has chosen, either way, we would have actually gotten some nomads. Now, going into the mountains is a little bit less lucky because, of course, the temperature is going to be bad, which means our beets aren't going to grow as well. It's fine. We'll be just fine. But yeah, ideally, we would have stayed in the jungle, but especially since either way, we'll be getting more nomads. We've got 16 people currently and 20 housing. I'll have to think about getting some more fairly soon, actually, especially see how many they get, because this is going up really quick, 19 hours, and we'll have 3 new nomads joining. All right, our research is in. We've got 25 now agricultural notes. Herbalist would be good, but I think we're going to go for the mycologist. That was a fun sound. I've loved all the new sounds they've added. And then we could also get the Onbu observation post. So we're going to need to start actually harvesting some mushrooms. Would it be crazy if I put it down here? I mean, we didn't clear out any of these stones yet, and all of those stones are going to take ages. The Onbu observation post has to go near the front of Onbu, so I guess we'll just stick it in here. I mean, that's not a huge area to be able to grow the mushrooms. I mean, we certainly would be able to grow some, but yeah, not a lot of space. Back here would be kind of a similar issue. There's space, but there's not a ton of space. Whereas here, there is actually a lot of space. Maybe our first mycologist should go back on this side. It's just really far for them to carry things. Right, we've got 3 new settlers who've just joined. That gives us quite a lot of workers. I mean, we could just say, hey, can you gather these stones, somebody? But that's going to take ages for them to actually gather those stones. And they've gotten straight to work, but yeah, that's going to take quite a long time. I guess the thing is, we will want possibly multiple mycologists. So putting one here is maybe not the worst idea, just so we get started with the actual gathering. I'm gonna need another air well. I might stick it next to this hauling post, so we've got those 3 buildings kind of in a row. Onbu observation post has been constructed. I don't think we've got enough mushrooms to do a couple notes, but not many. We've got the workers, so I'll just stick somebody in there for now. They can start bringing the mushrooms over. So there's a lot of clear space up on this side. Could put another farm in here. That air well has gone in, which means if we want someone to do something, we actually have to put a worker in there. This mycologist is nearly built. These guys are beginning to run out of things to gather in this area. There's just that one post, so actually having the second guy in there, he's got nothing to do. Mycologist is now constructed, so we can add all of this in and we can start planting our own mushrooms. So we're going to need those obviously for our observation post. Onbu is lying down for a little snooze. Also coming up to another fork in the road, so staying in the mountains or heading back into the jungle. Oh, and we did find some nomads, so let's pick those guys up as well. 2 healthy people. We now don't have enough housing, so another tent is going to need to go in. Put 2 in just in case. At least we'll have a lot of workers to come and work on these stones. Although I wonder if it's worth, let's deconstruct this and bring it up here for now. Just to get this cleared out faster, because at least 2 of them will get that 25% faster bonus. I mean, not all of them, but 2 of them will get that bonus. And that seems better than nothing, so. All right, storage is full on the bricks again, so I'm going to be closing that off as well for now. This mining camp is now built, so let's get 2 workers in there. We've got 8 workers total. And yeah, they can work on this. We want to clear this out for mushrooms to make this Onbu observation post a little bit more effective. I guess eventually if we are growing mushrooms up here, we will want probably another air well up here, probably another water tank at some point, but I'm not in too big of a rush for that. This woodcutting camp is just about finished as well. Then we're going to need to build a new one of those. Where do we want to clear out those next? Back here to get we're gonna need the dung collector back here somewhere. So having this back here maybe is an okay spot for right now, but we need an actual worker to go into the mycologist. And oh my goodness, we've welcomed 3 more village. Our population is growing. They now actually have needs. Hunger is a bit of a problem, but yeah, they need at least 1 happiness. So we're up to 24 people now, which is really good. The population, it's easier to grow from the beginning now, I think, than it used to be. Onbu is still having a bit of a snooze. Everything seems to be going fairly well on Onbu's back here. I mean, look at this. We're just getting all these stones cleared out because I do want to be growing mushrooms up at the front just to make the Onbu observation post more effective. Onbu observation post is also in a bit of a weird spot, but we can always move it. That's the thing. I feel like I get so set on where the buildings have to be, but there's no reason why we can't be moving them more. And I think we'll probably just have 2 mushroom spots, just make sure we have food for Onbu, but also food for the observation post. I mean, and also technically we can make food for our villagers out of that as well. People are getting quite hungry. Can we get the kitchen yet? We can. Let's get the kitchen and start making better foods from the berries and maybe also from this. I'm going to put it here. That's kind of in between where the berries are and the beets, so we can choose what it is we want to be cooking in there. And they have the bricks, so that should be going in straight away. Yeah, the bricks were nice and easy. They had actually run out of space to store them. Could put 1 person back working in here just because they have space to build some more bricks until that finishes off, and villagers are super happy. Let's get somebody in there. Do we want to do berry muesli? No, let's do beet soup. Beet soup, so that's nice and close. They'll just eat berries and beet soup. That sounds nice. I feel like beet soup is probably better to eat than just like a plain beet maybe, whereas berries are lovely to eat just by themselves. Although I guess that's just a matter of opinion really, but interestingly, the hauling post hasn't got its update yet for how it looks. But I am glad that some of these buildings do have a nice updated look. I suppose like the mining camp hasn't got one either. There are so many little workers up here trying to get this stone cut out. Might need to get like some like storages, because there is quite a lot of stone just like lying on the ground. We haven't actually built any storage for materials yet. Another water tank I'm going to stick in there. I feel like a material storage is not a terrible idea. We'll put 1 up at the front here and maybe 1 at the back as well. Right, it's raining, but we are very, very full on water. Let's get this water tank built quickly. They've already started working on it, so I didn't actually need to do anything. Onbu is unsure about which path to take. The 2 options, back into the jungle or stay in the mountains. Honestly, it doesn't really make a difference. Onbu's really hungry. feeding trebuchet we could get built. And technically, we can feed Onbu just plain mushrooms. Let's put the feeding trebuchet in. That shouldn't take that much to build. And we'll high prioritize that. Material storages are in, so people can start putting the stones into these 2 spots, so they're not just lying on the floor anymore. Having this many like spare or like free workers is actually like really nice. I'm gonna put another person though into the hauling post just for the carrying of goods around. That way they are prioritizing that. Everyone else is busy. Oh, we're staying in the mountains. There is some stinkhorn fungi over here, so healthy food for Onbu, but the nauseating smell will linger and dampen the mood of our villagers. That's okay. Our villagers are actually quite happy. I feel like we'll be just fine. Now, Onbu, he is actually at 71% hungry. We could feed him already. What do we need to get the Onbu food vault though? Oh, the Onbu kitchen, which we can already unlock. So yes, let's get the kitchen. Oh, the horn blower would also be really good. Then we can start making mushroom food. I might just put it here behind the trebuchet. It's nice and close by. We'll collect the saplings for these berry bushes so that we can plant them over closer to our berry garden. These stones are coming out so very slowly. I guess they do actually have like a lot of stone in them though. If you're looking at like got 30, it takes ages to like collect it. I mean, this is on 4 times speed, so it looks quick, but it's not really. All right, looking at villager needs, we still have 2 hungry people, but we do have food around. They are still making the beet soup. It's not going in super quick. We don't actually have that many beets. We could put another person in the farm here to help out. That leaves us still with 6 free workers, which is pretty good if you know, to be fair. All right, I think things on Onbu's back in our new experimental version are going just fine. A bit of a shame that we've had to restart, but that's okay. Maybe we'll just make better decisions this time. It's possible. I mean, it's not likely, but it's possible. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.